Good morning. Buenos días, de Dios. Boy, am I nervous. Rob talked about the church being a garden, and for me it's about life being a garden. And I want to start by thanking Pastor Rob and all the people here for making me feel so at home. I started coming here with Anna several years ago, and I would go to a Catholic church in Bernalillo at 8 o'clock and then come with her here. And over time, it finally occurred to me that this was really home for me. And so it was a momentous decision for me, but a few months ago I became a formal member, and I thought it was kind of nice that several people said, well, I thought you were a member. Again, thank you for being so welcoming. A lot of people probably wonder who I am. And so I just want to take a few minutes to talk about some major events in my life. I was born back on June 6, 1957 to Lalo and Helen Torres from Bernalillo. And again, talking about life being a garden, I feel like I was born into very, very healthy soil. I grew up in a really loving family. Love of God and family were at the top of the list. Hard work and service to others were the home that I grew up in. My parents were devout Catholics, especially my dad. Went to church 3 times a week, every week of his life, except for Lent when he went every day. And the church was a big part of our life. And what I admired most after I got a little bit older looking at my parents' life was that God was important to them, not just on Sunday or not just when they were in services, but every day of their lives, and they left just a wonderful example for the rest of us to try to follow and live up to. They really lived their faith every day of their lives. On June 18th, I share an anniversary date with the Candelarias. In 1983, though, Anna and I were married, and again, I really felt like I went from being in a very healthy soil to what I think of as being in miracle growth. And I thank her for that, and I mean it sincerely. We have a wonderful family, 4 sons, 2 of who are married and their wives, 3 grandchildren. I've got 3 sisters I'm very close to, and a large extended family, especially 2 cousins that I grew up with more like brothers than cousins. I had a second birthday. On August 1st of 2014, a little over 2 years ago, we were all really surprised when I had a really massive heart attack while we were at the White House. And it really was a miraculous event. I was blessed that it was at the White House. Some Secret Service agents and a doctor passing by revived me. I spent 8 days in a medical coma and 12 days in the hospital in Washington, and I truly saw that as a blessing and really believe in it as a second birth. And in some ways I still live my life the way I did before, but in many ways it's really been changed. And I think I try to use that as a way to go forward in a positive way. Some of the things that I think have really changed for me is I try to be much more intentional and much more thoughtful about every single day. You know, we all talk about life is very short, and I think we all believe that, but when an event like that happens to you, it brings it so close to home that you can't ignore it, or I couldn't ignore it. So again, I'm grateful for all of my life, and especially this second sort of phase of my life. I think it's also made me realize all the gifts God's given to me and to our family and to all of us, and I'm appreciative of that each and every day. I try much harder to make every single day count. I try to think about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and try to be much more thoughtful and intentional in what I do. And again, in terms of stewardship, I read somewhere that a lot of people now think of biblical stewardship as where the concepts of faith and work and economics intersect. And to me, it goes back to the way I was grown up. It's not just about what you do for a couple of hours on a Sunday once a week, but what we do each and every day of our lives. And I know it's challenging, but it's something that I try to live up to as much as I can. At this church, I found a healthy loving, inclusive community, and honestly, what I think is another dose of miracle grow. I found pastors who inspired me, not just in their words, but in their deeds. I feel happy here, I feel welcomed, and I even feel challenged and inspired by so many of you that are here. I'll never forget the outpouring of love that we both felt, the whole family felt, in support during my recovery. It came from a lot of people from a lot of different places, and especially from so many of you in this congregation. And some of you I really didn't feel I even knew, but again, we felt that love and support. And in my heart, I know that all the prayers and love and support had a lot to do with me recuperating and recovering from that heart attack. So I thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. And I don't want to be a punster like Rob, but it really is from the bottom of my heart, which is healthy now, by the way. I want to close with the words of Paul, and something, again, that I try to use as a guide. And he wrote, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for men, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving." And again, thank you all for everything.